Hello, welcome or welcome back to Heretic Owl Tarot. My name is Liz. I will be guiding you on this journey. I just wanted to introduce the tarot deck that we're going to use today, and also the, I guess we can call it an oracle deck that we're going to use. I don't really have anything else to say other than, of course, thank you so much to those who are participating in the 333 readings. I am still offering those. The details of that is in the description. I think they're so cool. Like every single one that I have done, like the cards that have come out have just like so perfectly gone together. I don't know. It's awesome. But thank you so much to those of you who have participated in that. And I hope you're all, holding up okay. I know we have an eclipse this week on the 3rd, which is actually tomorrow, March 3rd. It's literally happening right on top of my 3rd house Virgo moon. So, we'll see. We'll see what happens. I hope these messages reach near and far, I mean, I always do, but maybe I have a little bit of an oomph from that. Maybe. I don't know. But anyway, the tarot deck that we are going to use. Ooh, and this is actually the first little tarot bag that I got from, you would think that I would actually have it like pulled up. Okay, rude. I don't know. I don't have it in front of me. I'll put it in the description though. The little tarot bags. They're so cute. I have like 3 of them so far. But anyway, we're going to be using Pastel Dreams for the tarot deck. And then I have Mudra's deck that we're going to be using for the Oracle. I don't know, I pulled one of these cards for me this last week, and it was like so perfect for, and I shuffled the same way that I always do until a card came out, and it was so perfect for what was like on my mind, and the hardest part is just remembering to do it, like a couple times. But there's, of course, the mudra on one side, and then on the other side is information about that. So I'll read that to you, and I'll also include a screenshot of it for a couple seconds in the video, just in case you want to also take a screenshot or dude, whatever. Okay, let's get into the readings. Great. So this is the reading for the 6-2 human design profile, the role model hermit. If you don't know your human design profile, there is a link in the description for you to get your human design body graph, and your profile will be listed on there. Beautiful. We have the Ace of Cups. What else for 6-2s? Queen of Wands. I haven't even seen the Queen of Wands in any of the readings that I've done, so good to see her. I love that she's even looking at the Ace of Cups. What else? One more. Eee! One more. Four of Wands, beautiful. And then the World at the bottom of the deck. Okay, and let's get your mudra, which I've been reading at the end of the reading because it's actually been pretty cool to see like how it just like ties everything together. Okay. Just one. Freedom. Take to your wings. I love that. And that also, like, I know that. Also, even, like, look at the colors here. The blues, the red, yellow. Blue is throat, red is root, yellow is solar plexus. We have the Seven of Wands behind that, and then a couple other major arcana cards behind. Dang. Okay. We'll get around to that. Water and fire as well, which is really kind of interesting. Like anytime it's like heavily water and fire, it's interesting to me because they don't really like go together, right? Like water puts fire out. However, though, if water is in a container, then fire, of course, right? Like it heats it up, it creates steam. It, allows us to cook stuff. It sterilizes, things, So it's interesting. And we literally have like the Ace of Cups here, which is like, the container or, for water. Interesting. And also, I love that the Queen of Wands is looking at the Ace of Cups. Aces are, of course, brand new. It's new energy. It could be also even just like a rejuvenation or like a recharge of, or even like a refilling. Cups have to do with our emotions, how we feel about ourselves, about our lives, about what we're doing. It's love and connection as well, intuition, creativity. I see cups being more like body energy, right? Because we tend to like feel our emotions in our body. Heart chakra. And this is, your cup being full, feeling fulfilled, feeling, emotionally available even. I just like wanted to look up my whole, the whole, my cup runneth over thing. Abundance of blessings, gratitude, and divine provision. Far more than enough to meet one's needs. Often interpreted as overflowing joy, prosperity, or grace. The phrase symbolizes a life filled with goodness that exceeds capacity. So yeah, I love that. And like I said, I love that the Queen of Wands is looking at the Ace of Cups because, the Queen of Wands to me is, sorry, I had to resituate my my seat and I just couldn't do that apparently without like kind of getting a little chaotic. The Queen of Wands for me is finding your confidence and almost like wearing it. I love that her posture here is, like attentive, like she's almost like sitting forward. Ready to, she's got this, wand in her hand. It really feels like affecting change in your environment. And also like having the confidence, the direction, understanding your own motivation or your own drive in order to do so. Also, like this is very like being out in the collective or with community or your peers, even like some sort of recognition, like there could have been a project that you have been working on or that you will be working on that satisfies an emotional need or, something that you are just like emotionally invested in and you have the energy to put into it, you know? Or that's also too like what it's going to take. Again, you know, like queens for me are when we embody the energy of the suit ourselves. We recognize it, we learn to work with it, we learn to master it, right? We learn to give it to ourselves. So again, right, it's like it's finding your confidence. It's learning to be your own authority. It's learning to lead as well. Even with that role model line, you know, regardless of kind of where you are in the process of the sixth line, it's really honing in on your own like style, your own flavor of things. And it's also like really grounding into it, because even, you know, like I said, like these are, you know, red with the root, even though I know it's like red because of fire, blue because of water. But it's really like, I want to say like reinforcing your own power, or what is the word? Reinforcing? The word is escaping me. That is so annoying when that I fucking hate that. Because I know that it's there, and I know that I've used it, and I just cannot. Almost like recall is coming to mind, like recalling your energy. That's not the right word either. Or is that no. Okay, I thought a hummingbird just like flitted by, and I'm like, there's no way, right? Like, it has been a weird winter. No, I just think it's like a smaller finch. Okay. Distractions. I'm like, you know, here's this bird here. Anyway, okay. I'll just move on, and hopefully maybe the word will come. But it's like calling energy to you, like calling your own energy back to you though. You know, and the purpose of that is to help ground you and reinforce you. Is that the word that I used? You know, to make you feel more confident, more, you know, sure, and even, you know, like focused on the direction that you're heading in. It could even just be like this cup here, whatever this Ace of Cups is, that's either coming in for you, or it has come in, or it's something that you're going to discover yourself. Like, I actually have a passion for this. I actually feel abundantly blessed in this area, or, you know, whatever the case may be. And it's, you know, calling in your energy back to you in order to put it towards like a specific goal. Because this would also even be like personal goals with the Queen of Wands. It's interesting too that on either side of the Queen of Wands, we have the Ace of Cups and we have the Four of Wands. Like, this could be the outcome that you're hoping for, or, you know, what it is that you are trying to manifest. And you're really focusing on making sure that like your own cup is full. This could also even be self-care. You know, again, just really making sure, even figuring out what it is that makes you feel recharged. You know, like with that second line, there's, you know, that dance between being out there and being social and, you know, being recognized by other people and called out, you know, by other people, putting your interests, your talents, you know, like to use, and then retreating basically, you know, and recharging, spending some time, you know, just focused on the one thing or the thing that you have that interest in, that again, like it makes you feel like you are getting energy from it. I always kind of like harp on like second lines too about like making sure that your space is kind of like set up and like decorated or you know, organized in a way where you literally receive energy from it. It's both a space for you to, you know, recuperate, but also to charge, to, you know, like explore, to, you know, feel confident in your creative expression. And like change it around, you know, of course, like as often as you need to do that. And like I said, you know, like with this Four of Wands, like there's this, it's a celebration card. It's about unity, harmony, which is interesting because the world talks about harmony as well, but it's like culmination. It's the ending, or, you know, like the sum, or the whole of the sum, or, you know, whatever. It's everything like coming together. The Four of Wands is saying that the actions that you have taken or that you will take will reach you, will get you to a point of stability, foundation, success even. But this is just like it feels more like your actions affect change, or it's like you are the missing ingredient type of thing, because there's four people in this card, right? And they're all celebrating together, and it to me it feels like they've all accomplished something together, and that there's this goal back here, you know, because they're all facing this castle back here. You could like really be like motivating a group of people, or again, right? I mean, like it just finding the people that like have the same values or morals as you, and even like the same passion, purpose, you know, and that's what you all affect change to. And there's going to be some level of success there. And then, like I said, we have the World card, we have the Seven of Wands, and then the Wheel of Fortune and the star behind it, the Eight of Wands behind that, the Nine of Wands, the Knight of Wands, Ace of Pentacles. Yeah. I mean, this is really cool. Like whatever this kind of turns out to be for you. Interesting too, like with the doves here. I know like doves represent like purity, messengers. I wonder, love maybe too, because, you know, I mean, you kind of see like doves, what, peace, new beginnings, hope. I mean, there's some religious attributions to that. Doves mate for life, devotion, loyalty. So yeah, it also even feels like this is the thing, whatever this is over here for you. It's like, this is the thing that you have been, I don't want to say like searching for, but it's like all of the things, that the actions that you have taken, the motivations that you've had, the, you know, trying things, the even, you know, getting involved, you know, and that's part of too, like with wands. I don't even think I've said that, but wands are also like the thing of it's information by way of experience. I should even say like wisdom by way of experience, right? Because that's what we get by trying things. We figure out what works. What do we like? What don't we like? Is this correct for us? Is it not? You know? And it's one thing to think it is, or it's one thing to feel like you would feel really purposeful or fulfilled in a thing, but you really won't know until you try. I always like mention too, like, I mean, there's been plenty of hobbies that I've spent, like hundreds of dollars on because I was like convinced that it was going to become my new personality and that was going to become my life. And I tried it and I hated it. Like there's been plenty of things that I have tried that I thought I was going to love. I tried and I did. There's been plenty of things that I thought I was going to hate. I tried it, loved it, but again, none of those things would have been really figured out until trying them. And also you figure out what processes or what parts of those things do you enjoy and what processes of them do you not. And it feels like this Ace of Cups in the world, like it literally feels like finding the thing that does fill your cup and that continues to fill your cup, where you actually feel supported, where you actually feel like you can make a difference or that you have the compassion, the empathy, the intuition for. I also kind of love that this looks like a little, doorway or like a little, and it almost kind of feels like a rite of passage or like even just finding the right opportunity, quote unquote, the right opportunity. Of course, as with everything in human design, right? I mean, allow it to go through your strategy and authority, because your strategy and authority is literally designed to help you enter into the correct experiences for you. And also when to leave experiences that, like the energy has been satisfied, right? And it's time for you to move on. Your profile is how you interact with those experiences and the people that you meet along the way and how you affect those people and the energies related. The Seven of Wands, it is kind of interesting that just because of where I have the cards, it's like they're looking at each other. I mean, the Seven of Wands does talk about standing your ground, defending your actions. This is, not letting somebody or something or, whatever get you off track. And this is also too, this is that feeling I was saying about reinforcing. God, that still does not feel like the right word. Or recalling energy to you. And I keep trying to recall this. The example is I did this DMT journey back in October. And it was gnarly. It was the second time that I've done DMT. And it was like nothing like the first time. And I did post, it's like a 6-minute video about my DMT journey. I did post that, so I won't go through necessarily the whole thing. But there was a point in there where I started to fucking freak out. I'm like, oh my God, I'm having a bad trip, blah, 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 blah. I could not, get it together. Like I said, I started to freak out. I was starting to spiral. And I opened my eyes for a second because I had my eyes closed the whole time. And I opened my eyes for a second whatever, it was longer than a second, but I just had to ground myself. I literally had to tell myself, I know where I am. I'm safe. I'm in control of this experience as well. And it literally felt like I was reinforcing myself so that I felt more confident, so that I felt more in control. And it literally was just an intention and a little bit of a feeling too, that like literally, energy is coming towards me and entering my body to where I felt more grounded. I felt more confident. And I'm like, okay, now I can, because I knew like once I closed my eyes again that I was going to be back in, the experience. So then I was like, okay, what if I just like pushed through it? Right? Like what, let me just see what would happen. And I did. And, the experience changed, but it's like, it's literally like reinforcing yourself, reinforcing your why, not necessarily to like have to defend it, but it's almost like stoking the fire, your own fire, It could also, of course, even be a message of like having to do that, like making sure that you are proverbially or like metaphorically, whatever, like putting logs on your own fire type of thing, like making sure that you are taking care of yourself, which, the Ace of Cups is definitely making sure that your cup is always full, making sure that you know what that means for you too. Not allowing, really like other people's projections or their reasons why not to like, take you off of course, or like to change your focus or your determination. Because also I see these 6 wands usually as other people's, oh my God, I would never do that, or nah, that's not, that can't be done, or it's like their fears, their doubts, their reasons why they wouldn't do it. And it's like, okay, but like you're not doing it, I am. So I don't know why, who does that help really, Like that's kind of how I feel with the 7 of Wands. And it also even feels like because of their posture, even, like the Queen of Wands is like sitting forward. They're attentive. They're ready. They've got their hands ready to go. The 7 of Wands here, it just kind of has this feeling of like, try me. But also like being motivated, looking for like, where to insert themselves, what to do next. The Wheel of Fortune on top of the 4 of Wands. I mean, again, like I said, like, this is affecting change within a collective. However that is for you, or whatever, if that's your friend group, your family, your job, your, I don't want to say like hobby, but like, extracurriculars, something, because the Wheel of Fortune is change. It literally is like, however things have been going, there is going to be change to that. I always see it as a good card, and especially too when it comes on, like it's on the 4 of Wands, which is another positive card. I kind of want, okay, the Star, the 8 of Wands, the 9 of Wands, the Knight of Pentacles, the Ace, or the Knight of Wands, the Ace of Pentacles. Look at all this fire, though, really. I mean, you are going to be like moving and shaking, pouring out of, like your own cup. This is hope, faith, it's trusting the process. It's also being visible. The 8 of Wands is communication, fast moving. Not to mention we have this progression here as well, 7, 8, 9. Which is literally just, it's like the movement of energy, I feel like the 9 of Wands is again, just like a thing about making sure to take care of that second line. The 9 of Wands is the wounded warrior. this is somebody who's put a lot of effort into something, and it's like it kind of shows in them, you know, like you have you have the wisdom to show for it, but also, you know, like you have the dings and scratches as well. So, you know, it's being sure to recognize if you are starting to burn out, if, you know, like you're starting to recognize that your cup is feeling a little less full. Like it really is making sure, because I feel like a big part of this whole process is prioritizing how your energy is dispersed. And that way it's also so that you can affect the most change, because we really can't pour from an empty cup. I mean, we can, but it helps nobody, you know. That comes from a people pleasing, usually, you know, trauma or shame, you know, filled type of story line. Interesting too that we don't have, okay, I was going to say we don't have any air out here, which we have the star, which is Aquarius. So we have a little bit of air out here. But yeah, you know, just make sure that you are taking care of yourself, because it's also too like you don't want to burn out as far as like motivation and focus goes. So truly, when you are being guided to rest. Truly, you know, like when whatever rest is for you, whether it's just, you know, kind of taking yourself out of the hustle for a little bit, whether, you know, it's like literal rest, whether it's, you know, just switching your focus from this thing to another thing, you know, like something else that you enjoy, like reading or, you know, a craft or cooking or, you know, whatever the case may be, right? But it just kind of helps you to like reset a little bit, because that's not going to break your focus or your motivation. I mean, we have the Knight of Wands here. Like, it's probably going to help you move even faster or, you know, maintain having a high level of motivation by just remembering to take care of yourself. The Ace of Pentacles is, you know, a new opportunity with money, work, health. Okay, let's read Freedom. Take to your wings. If you want to take a picture of that, Mudra. I also like love the bird. Garuda Mudra. The Garuda Mudra helps to treat chest complaints of all kinds and is good for the lungs. Place your hands on either side of the breastbone. Garuda is the mystical bird, master of the skies and enemy of snakes, who personifies freedom, strength, and power. Very often we cannot change our circumstances, but we do have the choice between letting them get on top of us or taking off and rising above them. In other words, we can change our attitude whenever we have to, or whenever we want to. Isn't that wonderful? Garuda allows you to mount his broad back so that he can take you soaring up into the sky with him. From the perspective of ordinary things, from that perspective, dude, the ordinary things of daily life sink into insignificance. You can revel in the endless space, freedom, and beauty of the heavens. Behind the clouds, freedom knows no bounds. And it's interesting too, because even like, you know, I saw that bird outside and I thought it was a hummingbird, and that like, you know, kind of distracted me for like birds might be a big thing for you right now, but I'm going to leave it there. Thank you so much for allowing me to read your cards. I will talk to you soon. Bye.